Hello, lovelies. It's G here with Golden Thread Tarot, and I'm here today to bring you a informational video slash pick a card on the full moon in Cancer that we are having tonight. Actually, when I am filming this, I'm sorry that I'm getting this video out a little bit late. We still have a few hours to watch and start manifesting what you really want from this full moon, if it's something that you're interested in. So I know that the full moon in Cancer kept popping up in several of my other videos. I know it popped up unexpectedly in the what are their sexual desires video. Like, the card kept popping up. There's a full moon in Cancer card in the Moonology deck that I have that I was using, and it kept popping up. And then I know I did a divine masculine, divine feminine energy check-in that I did for them, or I did it was like a messages, confessions from the divine masculine. I'll link all these videos that I'm talking about. And this full moon, this idea of full moon in Cancer and resolving these family issues that are really coming up, just kept appearing to itself. It kept appearing to me again and again and again. It kept bringing itself up. So I've decided here to make a video on it. I've made several other videos today, and it's a little weird. Spirit wanted me to film all of the other videos first and film this one last, but post this video first before all the other ones that I already filmed. Sorry. So, it is what it is. Spirit has me do things in the order that it has me do it for a reason. So, like I was saying before, I'm not sure if I'm going to combine the pick a card reading that I also have with this. Just depends on how long it takes me to get through my notes and get through the things that I really want to talk about. If I start channeling, it might go on a little bit longer. But I know that these are really important things. They're important times that are coming up right now. With this full moon in Cancer, it's all about letting go of things from your past, right? Specifically, if you are going through some shadow work right now, especially if you're dealing with forgiving family members for past trauma and things that you have gone through in your childhood. If you're doing that shadow work right now, this full moon that's happening tonight, and it's also happening, sorry, I forgot to say this, at 10:28 Eastern Standard Pacific time here in America where I live. It's happening then. Look up where it's happening in your area. Might be a few hours early. If you were living kind of in the UK, 222, I just saw on the clock it's probably happening a few hours, like close to now. So it's important in general. This energy that this full moon is bringing in is gonna be a cycle that's gonna carry on all the way until the next full moon. So there's this energy will continue on for the next month and start. So it'll be closing out this year for the next few days of this year, and then starting for the whole first month of January for next year is what this energy is going to be in. Okay, so like I was saying, full moon in Cancer is really, really good for working through family issues, right? Childhood trauma, doing your shadow work. Sorry if you guys see me look down, I have some notes. I just want to make sure that I'm hitting all of my points. Forgiveness is it's going to be huge, huge, huge. I can already feel it in the collective. It's something that's really coming up. A lot of especially I'm feeling masculine energy is really starting to feel like they can't ignore some of the deeper things, the deeper traumas that are coming up in their life, and it's really time for them to start facing that, for them to start, realizing that the things that they went to, acknowledging them, facing them. And when I say that it's a good time to work through family issues, I don't mean it's a good time to go. I don't necessarily mean it's a great time to go confront your mom or your dad or your uncle or your sisters or your brothers for being, asses or whatever. It's I wouldn't necessarily say that it's about that, because a lot of the time the forgiveness, that we want from people, or the forgiving people, is not for them. It's not to go to them and go, you know what, and this and that and that and that, but I forgive you, right? It's just about acknowledging that to yourself in your mind, acknowledging that maybe this person did something that made you, that made you develop some toxic traits, or it made you push people away, or it made you do something, and you going into your mind and saying it's not okay. It doesn't make the injustice that you dealt with any less valid or anything like that. Of course not. But it is time, a really important part of your spiritual journey, of all of our spiritual journeys, is stepping outside, of being able to step outside of the trauma, right? To let go of the really strong emotional ties that we have. So you think about these things and your automatic trigger is to get angry, or to want to lash out, or to get manipulative, or to push people away, or pull people closer, or whatever your trigger is based on this trauma that you went through. you know and please don't be off put by me using the term trauma. Trauma, when I say trauma, it doesn't have to be something super serious, okay? This spiritual journey is not about comparing and contrasting anybody's journey to yours, okay? It's not about looking on the internet and seeing, wow, other people had it so much worse than me, so what do I have to complain about? It's not about that, right? Your experience is completely valid, no matter what it went through, no matter if you had people in your life tell you, you should be grateful, I always put a roof over your head, or I always did that. It's not about that, okay? Your trauma is just as valid to you as anybody else, or anything else that anybody else went through. I'm sorry, that was good. I got kind of a little but I was kind of feeling like you guys were like, trauma. Don't let the word trauma really confuse you or turn you off, okay? Don't think, oh, I really don't have anything to go through, because it's not as bad as it could have been. All right, anything that you've been dreaming about, or that has been coming to your subconscious, kind of coming up, like, why am I thinking about this? Why am I thinking about these memories, or this certain time, or why am I feeling so alone, especially right now during the holiday season, when I should be feeling really connected to my family most of all. And it's very possible that that if you did go home, or you did reconnect with your family, it is kind of dredging up all of these old, like, I've been living by myself, or living on my own, and now I have to go home and visit my parents' house, and it's bringing up all these issues from my childhood. Use that. Okay, use that is a jumping off point to really inspire yourself to move forward. Okay, it's really important. I know, and I think I was saying this in the video, in the confessions from the DM video. I realized that some of the trauma that people are really dealing with is not so easy as just saying, oh, let it go. Nothing is that easy, and I completely acknowledge that. Anything that you're working on with your spiritual path that you're going for, it's going to be deep stuff. All right, and it might be things that you don't even know affect you as bad as they do, but it's so important that you don't just ignore these things, right? That you are aware of not only why these things are coming up into your subconscious, like, why are they coming up from your subconscious, why are you thinking about these things, but also what how being conscious of how these memories and how these things are making you act, what emotions they're bringing up. Are you thinking about all these things from your childhood, and it's making you push certain family members away, or it's making you run away from loving relationships? You maybe have a partner and you're feeling very distant. Is it making you very angry? Is it making you lash out to people? Is it making you project certain things that you're dealing with onto people? All of these emotions, which is what the Cancerian energy is bringing up, right? All of these emotions are really coming out really strongly right now, and it's so important that we understand, that we don't just go, oh, well, I guess I'm just in a bad mood, well, I guess I'm just a terrible person, or something like that. That must be why. But you need to understand the reason that this is coming up. It's very important. Hold on, just hold on just one second. Spirit just reminded me I need to put my phone on silent, make sure we don't get interrupted. Thank you, Spirit. All right, let's look back down. Oh, also, too, which I'm going to go over a little bit later on in the video, but also doing forgiveness ceremonies and doing gratitude ceremonies is huge. It's huge. And then I know that me personally, in my spiritual process, when I started really processing all of these memories and all of things that I felt like, that are just all these things that are like, I shouldn't have had to deal with that. Like, this person shouldn't have said that, or they shouldn't have done that. I realized that I was holding a lot of anger in towards these people, and it was something that I didn't even realize was so strong. I just started crying and being so angry, and going through with the forgiveness ceremonies, going through with the gratitude ceremonies helps immensely. It has helped me so much. Especially in conjunction with using my essential oils. So using lavender, doing lavender diffusing and lavender steaming, and then also doing some just healing work in general. I'll get more into it a little bit later on in the video, but let's go ahead and move on, okay? So this full moon is especially good for Taurians, Cancerians, of course, Virgos, Scorpios, Capricorns, and Pisceans, right? So those people that are the sun signs, those there are those sun signs, excuse me, they're going to feel really empowered by this full moon, okay? If you're really gonna get a lot of I feel like a lot of people that are in those signs are going to find themselves on the backside of doing the spiritual work, and it's going to feel like this kind of breath of fresh air of yeah, it was the last little bit I needed to really forgive, to let go, to move on, to embrace my new path and my new beginning in this new year. Right? So we're going to keep going. Also, if you are any of those sun signs, right? Also, if you have any of those signs that I just said in your first, second, third, fourth, or 11th house, all right, or if Cancer is in, or if you specifically your Cancer is in your first, second, third, fourth, or 11th house, you're going to be able to do a lot of really good shadow work and get a lot of deep stuff up and out of you, and kind of clear that out and give yourself an opportunity to start anew in this next moon cycle. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, make sure that you're aware of what emotions of yours are really running high. Like what emotions, like you're really going to feel really strongly. It's very possible that you could feel overly clingy because you are kind of, it's very possible that you could be feeling emotions of anger and, having these things come up that's making you want to reject your family, and you might want to run and cling on to friends or other family members who weren't who weren't a part of giving you this trauma, or maybe relationships that you're in now. You might find yourself feeling a little extra clingy or a little extra needy, and that's okay, but just be aware of why, why these emotions are coming up and exactly how you need to balance that out, right? This full moon is also about balancing out your work and your family life. It's very important that you are balancing those two out, that you are giving enough time, that even though I know it might be difficult to say, well, I'm going through all the shadow work because of my family, but it is important to still be spending some time, especially with the holiday seasons right now. If you are, like I was saying, if you are more on the backside of this shadow work and you are feeling much more forgiving and you are feeling much more like, make sure that you're spending time with your family, as of course, as you can do it as safely as possible. If it has to be phone calls, if it has to be text, if it has to be Skype or Zoom, or however you want to do it, or if you wanted to keep in touch over social media or something, make sure that you are staying. If you are feeling more on the backside of doing all this shadow work, make sure that you're reconnecting with your family. Now, take advantage of this newfound forgiveness, of this newfound, lightness in your heart, and kind of reach out to them. Don't bury yourself. Like I was saying earlier, you might feeling like you might want to push people away. You might want to bury yourself in work, and just, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. But it's really important. All these things are coming up for very important reasons. Okay. um, right now is also a great time to let go of anything that is not serving you. So if you have realized that you have people that are causing you trauma, or people that are lowering your vibration in your life, so if you do have family members and you assess that right now is the time to put up great boundaries between them and you, and if you need to take a break from them, then take a break from them. If you, which I know might seem a little like opposite of what I just said, but it's really important. I'm really feeling like there's two groups in the collective. If you are just starting to go through all of this and all this is bringing up, it's fine for you to feel like you need to take a break from these people, especially if you are feeling a lot of anger and that you don't want to say something that maybe you shouldn't say, or just kind of have that anger or that manipulation or any kind of kind of rage or jealousy or anything that you have bringing up those emotions that you're processing, it's completely normal for you to be processing those feelings and those emotions. So process them, get through them. If you need to put some space in between you and especially the people that you're processing these memories and these emotions about, that's fine. Don't feel like you have to stay around them, or you have to confront them, or you have to still have them in your space while you're going through this. You don't. It's okay. Put up some boundaries if that's what you need to do. Obviously, that's the most important thing. All right. And also, as a part of this forgiveness, if you are feeling these anger emotions, these anger, jealousy, pride, or any of those things, really work through letting them go and forgiving not only those people that are causing those emotions, but forgive yourself. Like I was saying, it is completely normal, it's completely human to feel these types of emotions. Where you need to work on is not projecting those emotions onto other people, or acting on those emotions and saying something out of character, or saying something that you can't take back. Just make sure that you are, that you're really allowing that you're not running away from these emotions, but you're also not just stewing in them and then allowing them to, bottling them up and then allowing them to react and then to explode on other people, especially on the people that you are really being asked to forgive or go through these emotions and these feelings with. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, like I was just saying, make sure that you're not getting stuck on any of the stages of this, right? Of accepting this, understanding that all of these emotions are coming up for a reason. Don't get stuck on any one of the steps of the process, right? If you've been feeling really stagnant, it could be because you are running away from these emotions, because you're running away from dealing with these things. Like I was saying, if you are throwing yourself into work, or you are throwing yourself into maybe you just planned Christmas or your holiday season down, to the T, and had everything all planned out, and you've just been kind of distracting yourself with those kind of things, with spending, it's really important that you are really dealing with all these emotions. I know that I keep saying that, but it is so important. There is a reason that all of these emotions are coming up. Make sure that you're not avoiding them. Make sure that you're not, sitting in them and stewing in them. Make sure that you are tackling these problems head on. The energy of this, as the Cancerian energy of this full moon, is dredging up all these emotions, making you live them, making you process them, and then releasing them. That's the steps that you need to be working through right now. Like I was saying, make sure that you're not overly pushing people away, especially if you have some memories coming back from your childhood, or you have some other things that you're really processing. Don't isolate yourself too much. Okay, these are some heavy things. It's really heavy energy that we're all processing through right now, especially with being the end of the year and kind of wanting to get the last bit of 2020 out of here. Make sure that you're not overly isolating yourself or overly throwing yourself into work. Make sure that you are still connecting with your family and with your friends that are here to help you on your positive spiritual process, right? Those people, and though they are here, right? Spirit puts people into our lives to help us in these times when these come up. Rely on those friends and those family and your coworkers, or whoever it is for you, that you can trust, that that you can go to. And you don't have to necessarily go to them and say, oh, I need help, I need to do this, I need to go through that, blah blah. You could just say, I'm kind of having a bad day, let's just sit here and talk, or let's sit here and reminisce on good times, or all of those things that are going to help you process out these emotions. Okay, don't feel like you have to be alone, or that you have to process this and go through this by yourself. You absolutely don't. Spirit is just really wanting me to push that. Like there are people in your life. If you ask for spirit, help from spirit, those people will be put into your life to help you process and get through all of these emotions. Okay, um, watch out for your triggers. Okay, um, and just mainly, it is just time to stop avoiding this, right? This energy is like, it's so important that we take advantage of this energy right now. Stop avoiding it. Stop distracting yourself. and just really make sure that you find a balance between pushing and pulling, still having time to yourself to process your emotions, and still spending time with your friends and family safely, of course, that you can. Okay. And as I was saying earlier, right, the forgiveness ceremonies and the gratitude ceremonies, and these are really simple, but they are the most helpful, and we've all heard of them. So don't, we've all heard of these ceremonies, right? We've all, the way that I'm saying it kind of I'm kind of putting them in a more kind of mystical, kind of magical seeming, but really we've all heard of, if you have a problem with a person, there's something that you need to get out, write a letter out to that person. You don't ever have to send it, right, or anything like that, but just do it, and it helps you process your emotions. And that's exactly what the forgiveness ceremony is. Write out a letter to a person, to a situation, to your past self, to your future self, whoever it is that you need to get this out, whatever emotion, whatever it is that you need to get it out, and say, and make the full process of this, right, is I forgive you. The whole point of the whole letter is I forgive you. It's not a bashing letter. It's not a you're a terrible person, blah blah. You really want to frame the whole letter in the mind of you did do this, you did do that, but I forgive you because it helped me learn about this and it helped me learn about that, or however you want to word it. But it's mostly, make sure that you're really focusing on forgiving that person, right? That person, that place, that situation, whatever it is, right? Then you want to take it, and of course you want to do this if you are under 18. I'm always going to say do it with your, parental or parents, parent supervision, someone over 18 that can help you, and you want to take it and burn it. If you have like a small metal bowl or some kind of, obviously you want to do it in a safe place where it can't catch anything else on fire or anything like that. And you want to take the letter and you want to burn it. And burning it is releasing it in spirit, releasing the energy. And while the letter is burning, you want to envision that person in your mind, and you want to say, I forgive you. I understand, I'm understanding of why you did what you did. I want to be empathetic and understanding of your place in this world and your purpose in my life. And I forgive you. And you want to send that person just that energy. Just extend that energy into your mind of I forgive you. You do not have to connect to this person. You do not have to send this letter to this person. You don't even ever have to tell this person that you forgive them. It is about you. 2229 on the clock when I said that, okay? New beginnings and wish fulfillment for yourself. Letting go of the burden, of the anger, of the guilt, of whatever it is that this person has made you feel. And I'm telling you guys, it is unbelievable. It is unbelievable, some of the things I have been able to really help process. And it's you can do this at every single full moon. You can write one letter, or the first time that I did this forgiveness ceremony, I wrote like 5 or 6 different letters to a whole bunch of different people, and I just, I got it all out, and I burned all of them, and it was amazing. If you're burning inside, make sure you're opening a window, make sure you're not doing it near like a fire alarm or anything like that. Obviously be safe, use common sense, you guys. If you're under 18, please have parental or a guardian supervision if you're using um, if you're burning any kind of materials, okay? Please be safe. And you guys, watch out for yourselves, okay? Make sure you're using non-flammable, doing it on a non-flammable surface, all right? I'm just trying to make sure that I have everything. Yes, and now I'm just going to finish up with the gratitude ceremony. So the gratitude ceremony, and you don't necessarily have to write this down, but I think that it's really important. You can also do this every single day. So the gratitude ceremony is going through and listing 7 things that you are grateful for. 7 things. And when I started doing this, it was amazing, honestly. Just like the forgiveness ceremony, it was amazing how much just doing this. I started doing it every single day. And it's amazing how often when it helps you change your mindset, helps you look at things, because that's, I know, where forgiveness really started coming in for me, and gratitude really started coming in for me, especially going through all this really heavy shadow work, is understanding that you went through everything that you went through for a lesson. Your soul signed up and signed a contract and agreed to learn every lesson that you have learned. And it doesn't take away any injustice that you dealt with. It doesn't take away, any pain. It doesn't invalidate any of that. It's not saying that any of those anger or emotion, any of those are invalid. But your soul signed up for this. That's my personal beliefs. Is you assign a soul contract. You sign a soul contract with people, with certain situations, to come into your life and teach you lessons. And when you start understanding that, it is so much easier to understand and forgive people for doing certain things. Um, and it's so much easier to see how much you do have to be grateful for in your life. How much, because you, when you are doing this shadow work and you're going through your dark night of the soul, or whatever it is right now that you're processing specifically, you can get down thinking about all this really heavy stuff, but it is so important that you remain grateful throughout this whole process. And I know, like I said, it might be hard for you to say, oh, I'm grateful that, I was abandoned by my family, or I'm grateful that, I was judged for this, or I felt like that. Um, but understand that in the end, you learned some personal lesson from that. If you can't see the lesson, you have more processing to do. All right, my loves, I think I'm definitely going to just make this video, just because it's almost a 30-minute video, so I'm definitely going to make this just an informational video for you guys. I really hope that you liked it. If you are interested in more videos like this around information, if you would like me to do more informational videos for any major astrological events that are coming up, if you would like me to kind of do kind of like a new moon, full moon kind of report sort of type things, what should you be working on, I would be happy to do those. I'm doing those for myself, so it would be my pleasure to bring that research to you. If you guys, hopefully I'll get it out a little bit further, hopefully in the future, if it's something that you're interested in, we can kind of get a schedule working on that. Comment down below, let me know, like the video, or just watch it if you guys are really into this kind of like informational videos. I would really like to start bringing those to you, but only if you guys obviously are interested in them. All right, my loves, just let me know what's going on with you. Like I said, comment down below, check out some of my other videos. I'll have the other videos that I mentioned probably down in the description box below. Also, watch out for the accompanying pick a card that's coming, that is going to be what is this full moon in Cancer bringing up for you. All right, so make sure you keep an eye out for that video. I'll probably be making that next, and I will see you guys later. Bye, my loves.